Unfortunately, the worst case scenario that scientists had been talking about regarding the current volcanic eruption in Iceland has happened, and that is destruction of homes that have literally been swallowed up by lava. And I'm here to just give some updates for people who have not heard about what's happening in Iceland regarding the current eruption, as well as just to help you understand the situation a bit better. First of all, though, my heart goes out to the residents of Grindavik as they are literally holding their breath. Some of them, have already seen their houses be destroyed, 3 houses in particular, but others, fear for the fact that another fissure could open up and just other things can happen. So in regards to the most current eruption that is happening on Sunday, early morning, like 3 a.m., after hundreds of earthquakes, residents of Grindavik were evacuated, and then at 8 o'clock, a fissure opened up and lava started spewing out of the earth. Now, this was farther away to the point where people thought, okay, yeah, it's close to town, but not so close. Maybe there's a possibility that it won't impact Grindavik. However, another fissure opened up a little bit later that was very close to homes and ended up, unfortunately, like I'd mentioned before, burning and destroying 3 homes. And it was really and is really sad to see. And I can only imagine, being the owner of that home, watching it go up in flames and not being able to do anything about it. And the Icelandic government, though, to their credit, has really been working on building these lava walls. Not all of them have been complete yet, and there are walls that are continuing to be complete in order to help the lava to flow in other directions. There are also efforts going on to save any animals that are still there. This is just a really intense situation. Everybody in Iceland is feeling the same way, which is just really heavy and sad for the fact that this has happened. This is the 5th volcanic eruption that has happened on this peninsula in the last 4 years. And while the other, I would say 3 first eruptions happened, those were ones where people weren't really concerned. It's been the last 2 in terms of concern regarding infrastructure, but the last 2 have been the ones that have been the most concerning, and this one causing destruction in the town, which is awful. So when it comes, though, to ash or flights being impacted, because I know a lot of people who are either thinking about coming to Iceland or already have trips planned are asking this question, just know that there is no worry about ash accumulating and causing, delays in flights or flights not being able to take off. Everything is going as normal at the airports, and that doesn't seem to be impacted whatsoever. So just know that if you're planning to come, yes, it is still safe to visit Iceland, and the area in which this is happening on the Reykjanes Peninsula, while it does impact the Blue Lagoon, meaning the Blue Lagoon is currently closed because it is so close to this eruption, other parts of that peninsula are still functioning just fine because the airport is there, for instance. Like I mentioned, there are other towns. You can still use the main road that goes from the airport to places like Reykjavik or anywhere else in the country. I know this is a big concern for people, so just be aware of that there's no danger in coming to Iceland and actually enjoying other aspects of the country. However, please, please, please be respectful and do not try and go to the eruption site. Like I mentioned, people are losing their homes. This is a situation where we want to show as much respect as we can, and the way to do that is just to keep to other parts of the area, of the country, and respect the authorities saying to not go to the site. There have been other eruptions, like I've mentioned, on this peninsula, the first 3, in which people could go and authorities would let people know where the safe parts were. But in this case, there have been sinkholes in the town. There have been different aspects that have made this so much trickier and so much damage that's happened that's made the area unsafe. And all the people, though, that had been in Grindavik were evacuated. There were around 90 homes that people had been allowed to go back and stay. Of course, now no one is there. For those looking for more regular updates about the current eruption, even eruptions that are going to happen in the future, here are some resources that you can utilize that are super helpful. So for one, safetravel.is, always one that you should go to and check out before you travel anywhere in the country, honestly. And also RUV English. So in English, there's the National News Organization, and they have a great timeline of what's happening in terms of this particular eruption. On social media, there's Raka, who's over at the Lava Show, who's doing an amazing job updating about what's going on regarding the eruption and other eruptions, and she's really knowledgeable. And she's on TikTok as well as Instagram, so I'll, link to her wherever it's appropriate for that specific platform. And when it comes to also a geologist who's super knowledgeable and on social media, Geology with Helga, who's over on Instagram. I don't know if she's on TikTok, but if she is, I will link to her. And those are just great resources, like I mentioned, for more frequent updates. I will, of course, come back and let you know if there's anything else that's going on that is pretty major. But yeah, yesterday when this happened, honestly, I was just sitting there in shock and being like, I can only imagine how all these other people are feeling. And, wanted to gather my thoughts and see what's happening in order to come on and give information that would be useful. So if you are coming to Iceland, definitely enjoy, but like I mentioned, please be respectful and stay away from the eruption site.